For Zack Snyder and Deborah, how critical is this movie, or can you just talk about the importance of this movie to launching this sort of expanded universe and expanded franchise of DC movies?
Again, I think the thing that's interesting about the process with this movie and sort of the way it's evolved is that, you know, the idea of having Batman fight Superman
is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So that's why we made a movie. Is not only ridiculous, but also once we had committed to that ridiculous idea, it was then only that we were like, okay, so that implies that a universe exists where Batman and Superman exist together, which was a weird, I know it seems like obvious in the comic book world, but had not existed really in the movies. So though it seems like an obvious notion if you're, you know, just sort of casually like, oh, well, Batman and Superman, of course they're both comic book heroes, so yeah, they're like down the street from each other, right? Yeah. Like they bump into each other all the time. That's maybe why they're met. But so once that sort of idea had taken root and existed as reality, it was then only that we were like, well, I am and have been obsessed with the Trinity and really wanted to see the Trinity, that being Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, in a single moment. And that was the thing that I was really interested in trying to get into this movie. Not that I didn't have enough to deal with already, but I thought that would be a cool thing to see. And those conversations are really what led to this Dawn of Justice kind of subheading for the film. And that we could now begin to talk about or have conversations about the fact that the Justice League and or the DC universe now could evolve from this. And we had, you know, I feel like frankly we had just, you know, it's a difficult notion, especially at a studio like this that's really filmmaker driven and sort of project to project. You know, it's a difficult notion to say, oh, okay, well, you're making a movie, but it's actually connected to that guy's movie and connected to that guy's movie, and it's all going to be a great, big, fun sandbox, and we're all going to play nice in it, which is a great thing, but it's a difficult thing to just make appear. And I think that's what the luck and sort of serendipitous nature of this movie that's allowed the worlds now to kind of coalesce. And I don't think it became a plan, and it's becoming a thing, but it was only in its infancy that we realized, yeah, oh my gosh, this can be a thing.
Yeah, and at the same time, I think we wanted to set up and introduce these characters, but we also had a really rich story to tell. So it was a careful balance about telling the story, the Batman and Superman story, and giving a little hint and a tease to the story of Justice League that's yet to come.